Welcome back to Smart Money. We are talking about your financial plan. We've got 6 tips that are coming up to get you on the road to financial health. Mdu, let's take it from the top. Number 1, in creating a financial plan, gather the information.
Yes, gather the information.
Okay, I write a list. I've got an Edgar's account. I've got a...
Yeah, so I mean, Warren touched on it earlier to say we need a starting point. And for most people, even the fear of financial planning is exactly that, to say, I'm going to fail literally at step number 1. I have no idea what my tax number is. I have no idea how much I'm putting away for my pension or where my pension fund statement is. So all the data gathering processes is, let's help you organize yourself. Okay. Let's have a starting point and work from there.
Okay, I've got the data.
So it's your income, your expenses, if you've got any assets, your debts, and then just an idea of what you want to do. So do you want to buy a car every 5 or 8 years? You want to go on holiday once a year? Want to retire when you're 60?
Isn't that like step 2? So 1, I've got the information. This is where I'm at. This is what I earn. These are my outgoings. And then number 2 is, okay, where do I want to go? And then the plan is the bridge between those two.
Look, the data gathering is also for us to make sure that we're not duplicating something that's already there. Okay. You know, I might sit with you and you say, should I pass away? You know, I want my kids to be looked after and so on and so on. And then I give you life cover, but you might already have life cover. So let me not just sell you an existing product. It's to give us the full picture.
What's the second thing? So you just give me the 6 steps, and then I've got about 5 minutes to do the whole
so
thing.
So it's gathering the data, and then obviously once I have that, it's for me to sit with you, and now we start creating the plan. For me to understand.
Create the plan.
What are you?
Gather the data, create the plan.
Analyze.
Analyze. You know, well, it's to understand what you want me to create for you. There's no point I gather all this data and I go to my office and I create this amazing proposal, but it means nothing to you. I need to understand, what do you want to get out of this? Yeah. Then I would go and sit down and then speak to my team in the office and create the actual proposal for you, you know, for whatever your various needs are. And then it's a matter of going back to the client and saying, Mr. Client, we talked about this in our first meeting. You wanted to achieve these goals. These are my proposals, and then take you through the various implications of maybe option A, option B, also understanding what is the most important thing to you, because one of the things we find most of the times is very few people are in a position to have a full financial plan, and it's a matter of eating that in small bites. So what I mean by that is your full financial plan might mean you're spending 2,000 Rand or 3,000 Rand a month, but your disposable cash might be 500. So it's a matter of us finding out what's the most important thing, and let's start there. And as the journey continues, we'll tackle the rest.
I think the important thing here is we kind of creating a lot of concepts around this plan, as if it's this big thesis that's intimidating. It's just a roadmap. So if we're sitting in Joburg, we want to get to Cape Town, that's our goal, then it's a case of saying, okay, so I've got my map. When I get to the first decision where there's a fork in the road, something's happened, you know, it's raining, whatever the deal is, I've got a plan, I know where I want to go. Now I can look at my plan and say, okay, life has happened, because life's always going to happen. Yeah. So now what am I going to do? How am I going to change this? Am I going to go left? Am I going to go right? And then at the next fork in the road again, you make a decision again. So what a plan helps you to do, and a plan should change and evolve over time, but it helps you to make sensible decisions in moments of difficulty. And sometimes it'll be a good moment. You know, you get a huge bonus that you weren't expecting, and then you say, great, I still want to get to Cape Town. That's my goal. So now this is a positive thing. What do I do?
We tend to fall easier into debt than we do into great financial habits. Half of credit active consumers are behind. Debt is holding a lot of us prisoner. How do we relate debt into our financial plan? I'm in a hole. I'm stuck. I can't be. I've got 087 numbers terrorizing me, private calls, summons flying in. How do I go calm and zen, like, and come and chat to you about a financial plan?
You know, I think one of the most important things about a financial plan is purely about discipline. Sometimes people fall into this hole and they feel there's just no way out of it. And part of that intrinsic value of having a financial planner is showing you the baby steps of how do we slowly now start getting out of this hole. But what I've seen repeatedly is you can create the best financial plan, but if someone doesn't have the discipline to stick to that, then really there was no value in us meeting. One of the hardest things about being a wealth manager or financial planner is I really think a part of doing the job is there's a psychological side of it, and that you meet so many different characters, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution for anyone. So even me as a person, it makes me grow. And today I'm meeting Warren, tomorrow I'm meeting someone else, and it's about understanding what journey have they walked, what is this person's fears, and what can we really do for them? What can we really do for them? It really breaks my heart when I meet people that are 5 years away from retirement, and they come to me and they're basically asking me to perform miracles.
Sure. When we've got this financial plan, human beings, a lot of us are hedonistic. So I'd like to buy shares, and I'd like to check the newspaper tomorrow and see Kumba is up 8%. Kura, you're a clever guy. I don't want to consider the tax efficiency of buying an RA and seeing it when I turn 55. How do you balance how we are as human beings with putting something tangible on the ground?
So that's where you've got to break up the goals. So you're quite right. So I mean, to me, it's probably even a little bit more simple than that. We don't really even want to save. We want to spend all the time. So what you would say is, set a goal that you can spend for. So for me, it's always about holidays. That's the thing I want to do in life. So I'm going to set myself a goal and say, I want to go on holiday. But before I can start saving for the holiday, I need to put away X amount of money this year for my long-term goal, which is my retirement. So then once you've done that long-term goal for this year, then you can say, cool, now I'm going for it. Now I'm going to build up this holiday fund, and I'm going to spend it guilt-free. And I think that's the best way, is always link some long-term boring goal with some short-term thing. So if you want to start trading shares, great. But what else have you done? What are the other provisions you made?
Mfundisi, I have not even 1 minute to wrap up the show. Please preach the gospel. Why do I need a financial plan? How do I get started?
You're never going to get where you want to get to if you don't have a financial plan. Really, that's what I always try to preach to my clients, to say, you have a goal, and how do you get there? If I sit with you and you can tell me clearly, this is how I'm going to get there, then you don't need me as a financial planner. But that is the problem with most people, is the plan doesn't exist. And whether you start now or in 20 years' time, that time is still going to pass. And it's about a matter of, what have you done during that period? What have you put into place to make sure that one day you do live the life that you want to live? At some point, you need to take control of your life and be responsible for it.
Take the first step.
Take the first step.
Mfundisi, siyabonga.
Amen.
Take the first step. Get a plan. There are lots of people who can help you out with advice. There's a lot of common sense, but there are a lot of skeletons out there. Look for registrations. Make sure people are accredited and registered. This has been Smart Money. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you have too. Thank you very much. From me, Chihota, Warren Ingram, and Mdu. Take care. Bye-bye.